Kamilla Cardoso just lit the entire WNBA world on fire with one comment, and Angel Reese's fans are losing their minds. In a press interview that nobody saw coming, Cardoso went out of her way to praise Caitlin Clark's basketball skills, calling her one of the smartest and most skilled players I've ever faced. But here's the part that's making Reese's camp spiral. Cardoso didn't mention Angel Reese at all. Not one word. It was a clear snub, and everyone watching knew exactly what that meant. While Clark stood tall, earning respect from one of the league's rising stars, Angel Reese was left completely in the shadows, humiliated in front of the entire basketball world. Fans noticed immediately. Social media erupted as people pointed out the obvious. Even Reese's own teammates and rivals seemed to respect Clark more than they respect her. The silence around Angel Reese spoke louder than any insult could. This wasn't just a casual compliment, it was a statement. A clear message that Caitlin Clark is earning real respect through her talent and hard work, while Angel Reese is being left behind. And let's be real, Reese knows it too. You could practically see the tension building the moment those words left Cardoso's mouth. The divide between Clark and Reese just got a whole lot deeper. And this time, it's Reese on the losing side. The backlash was instant and brutal. Angel Reese's fans completely lost it after Kamilla Cardoso's comments hit the internet. Within minutes, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok were flooded with angry posts, desperate defenses, and wild accusations. They tried everything to twist Cardoso's words, claiming it was just a polite comment, or that she didn't mean to ignore Reese. But no matter how hard they spun it, the truth was clear. Angel Reese got snubbed hard. And the humiliation didn't stop there. Videos of Cardoso praising Caitlin Clark racked up millions of views, while clips of Reese's worst game bloopers started trending alongside them. The contrast couldn't be more embarrassing. Clark was being celebrated as a true professional, while Reese became the butt of the joke. Even some of Reese's usual supporters started going quiet, realizing this was a disaster they couldn't cover up. And you could feel the panic setting in. Reese's fans went from loud and proud to frantic and defensive, throwing out excuses that nobody was buying. It was a full-on meltdown, and the more they tried to fight back, the worse it looked. Angel Reese wasn't just losing the spotlight, she was losing the respect of her own base, one ugly moment at a time. Angel Reese wasn't about to stay silent, but her response only made things worse. In a bitter, thinly veiled jab posted on her social media, Reese threw shade at both Kamilla Cardoso and Caitlin Clark, without naming them directly. She wrote, "Some people get hyped for basic skills. Real ones know the truth." It was obvious who she was talking about, and fans weren't fooled for a second. But instead of looking confident, Reese came off as petty and insecure. The backlash hit fast. Comment sections filled up with people mocking her for sounding jealous and unable to handle being outshined. Even neutral fans started turning on her, saying things like, "Why not just work harder instead of whining online?" What Reese thought would be a powerful clapback totally backfired, exposing just how rattled she really was. Worse, it gave Caitlin Clark even more sympathy and support, with fans praising Clark for staying classy and focused while Reese spiraled. Reese's attempt to control the narrative only fueled the fire, making her look desperate to stay relevant. Instead of silencing the noise, her post blew up in her face, and her reputation took another brutal hit. Things went from bad to worse when the business world started paying attention. After Angel Reese's meltdown and bitter online post, brands that once lined up to work with her began backing away, fast. Quietly but unmistakably, sponsors started pulling out of deals, and marketing campaigns featuring Reese were suddenly put on hold. One insider confirmed that at least 2 major brands had re-evaluated their partnerships, which is code for cutting ties completely. Reese, who once bragged about being one of the most marketable faces in women's basketball, was watching her empire crumble right before her eyes. The message from these companies was clear. They wanted nothing to do with the drama, and Caitlin Clark's clean, rising star image was a much safer bet. Even worse, new endorsements that Reese had been negotiating reportedly dried up overnight, with firms quietly choosing Clark or other players instead. The financial hit was undeniable, and the damage to her image was even bigger. Reese's reputation had shifted from bold and marketable to toxic and risky. And the more she lashed out, the faster those doors slammed shut. For someone who built her brand on fame and controversy, this was a devastating blow, and the fallout was just getting started. Just when Angel Reese thought things couldn't get any worse, new evidence came to light, and it was damning. Leaked emails and private messages began circulating, showing that Reese had been working behind the scenes to undermine Caitlin Clark's reputation. In one shocking exchange, Reese was caught encouraging a small group of influencers to push negative stories about Clark, trying to stir up controversy and damage Clark's public image. Another leaked message exposed Reese complaining bitterly about how Clark was getting everything handed to her and plotting ways to knock her down a peg. These weren't rumors, they were real receipts, and the internet exploded when they surfaced. Fans who had defended Reese up to this point were stunned into silence, while Clark's supporters felt completely vindicated. Suddenly, all of Reese's shady behavior made perfect sense. This wasn't just a feud on the court. It was a calculated attack from behind the scenes. The leaked evidence painted Reese as vindictive and obsessed with tearing Clark down instead of focusing on her own game. And the worst part? It proved that everything Reese had accused Clark of was pure projection. This was a full-blown exposure, and there was no spinning her way out of it. Caitlin Clark's legal team wasted no time striking back, and they came armed with undeniable proof. In a sharp and professional statement, Clark's lawyers laid out their case point by point, revealing a timeline of events that completely dismantled Angel Reese's accusations. They presented hard evidence, verified emails, screenshots, and even witness testimonies that showed Reese had been the one fueling false narratives and stirring up drama behind the scenes. The legal documents were airtight, leaving no room for doubt. What's more, Clark's team exposed how Reese's behind-the-scenes moves were part of a larger smear campaign designed to sabotage Clark's rising career. The strategy was crystal clear, and it failed spectacularly. Legal experts reviewing the case called it a total win for Clark, saying the evidence was devastating for Reese's credibility. While Reese's camp scrambled for damage control, Clark stayed calm and focused, proving once again why she's seen as a true professional. The legal battle wasn't just about clearing Clark's name. It turned into a complete humiliation for Reese, showing the world exactly who had been telling the truth all along. This was more than a victory in court. It was a crushing blow to Reese's already crumbling reputation. As the truth came out and the legal battle turned in Caitlin Clark's favor, the silence from inside the WNBA spoke volumes. Major figures in the league, coaches, executives, even former allies of Angel Reese, started distancing themselves fast. Publicly, no one wanted to comment, but behind the scenes, it was clear. Reese had become a liability. Invitations to high-profile events quietly disappeared. Team insiders revealed that Reese was no longer part of key meetings or promotional pushes, and her name was being left out of league marketing campaigns that once highlighted her front and center. Players who once hyped Reese up online went noticeably quiet, with some even liking tweets that praised Clark's integrity and work ethic instead. The shift was undeniable. Reese, who once seemed untouchable in the league's inner circle, was now completely isolated, her influence shrinking by the day. It was a total reversal of power, and Reese was feeling it. While Caitlin Clark's star kept rising, Reese was left scrambling, watching her support network crumble around her. The WNBA made one thing clear without saying a word. They were done backing the drama. and Angel Reese was no longer the future of the league. Now, as the dust settles, one thing is absolutely certain. Angel Reese's downfall isn't just a temporary setback. It's a full-blown collapse with no way out. The league has moved on. The fans have moved on. And Caitlin Clark? She's not just surviving, she's thriving like never before. With each game, Clark cements her place as the face of women's basketball, earning respect on every level, from players, coaches, media, and even former critics. Meanwhile, Reese is stuck in a spiral of her own making, her reputation shredded, and her future hanging by a thread. No matter how hard she tries to claw her way back, the damage is done. This saga has proven one brutal truth. No amount of scheming can outshine real skill, real discipline, and real class. Angel Reese thought she could manipulate the game, but in the end, the only person she outplayed was herself. And as Caitlin, Clark's legacy continues to rise, Reese's name will forever be remembered, not as a champion, but as the one who let it all slip away.